Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the NERDWatch podcast. I, of course, am G Money. You're at another lovely Tuesday evening right here in the heart of Wailuku Town on the beautiful island of Maui in the great state of Hawaii. And we are here for a blisteringly exciting new program because not only was last week a big show, tonight is also another big show. So before we get started, let me introduce the crew. First off, this next guy, he is our seducer. He is the man who has a plethora of Nerf guns on his wall. And guess what? Who's not going to get a Nerf gun this year from Santa? It's going to be this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Kai. Because Santa's a dick. All right. Isn't he? Kind of, sort of. Anyway, also joining us this evening, this next guy, he is our man in black. He is also the man who is the master of card tricks. He hides pigeons in his pants and apparently has had the best sleeps of his life ever since he restarted WoW. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Phormat. He's in the house. A little dark tonight. I don't know why. You can barely see a Phormat.
Yeah.
Also, joining us this evening, this next guy, he is our Dark Knight. He is our horror aficionado. He is a crime fighter here in Maui who fights with a cape, a cowl to hide his identity, and a utility belt full of gadgets that can take out super criminals from a mile away. I'm sure he's done a lot of movie viewing in the last week or so, we'll be checking him later with that. And he's also our punk rock superstar. Ladies and gentlemen, please.
I watched the Pure North Pole Christmas special.
Say hello. Show some reverence to the man we call Gannon.
Oh my God, if you watch us on Facebook right now, it's almost like a time inversion.
I can't wait to hear about that. Also, joining us this evening, boys and girls, this next gentleman. He is the comic book artist extraordinaire. He is also the creator of Disco Thunder Groove Bone, Mohawk Thunder, and yes, his perennial work called Kukui Project. It's ending soon. At least that's what he's told me. He's also the man with a newly coiffed set of hair, newly coiffed hairdo. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Hawaiian Son of Superman, Todd Bernardi!
Glad to be here, Greg. It's always a pleasure.
Isn't it a pleasure? Aren't you happy to be here?
I can't wait to.
We're giving each other pleasure. What?
You kind of look like
a bum.
Russell Crowe in the movie Romper Stomper with a beard.
Romper Stomper.
Yeah. You kind of look, kind of. It's pretty sweet. Anyway, we are missing.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. You're certainly welcome. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, guess what?
Chicken butt.
You know who's not here
Greg?
tonight? Guess who's not here tonight? That's right. The man who is the Maui Comics owner and proprietor, Alika, is not here tonight. No brand new comics tonight.
Introduce him anyway, apparently.
But you know what? What's good about him not being here is that he's going to miss out on some amazing news because there was a lot of stuff that came out of Marvel and Disney this week that we definitely are going to talk about. Daniel Plagle is also in the chat tonight. Why does Kai have no audio? Kai, you're not muted, Kai. I don't know what's going on with you, buddy. Anyway, Kai's got you're not muted on my end, Kai. So I don't know why we can't hear you. But anyway.
Oh God, why, Kai? Why?
Big shout out to Daniel who's in the house. Daniel, what's going on, sir? What's going on? Now, since there is no comic book list, of course, we do have to we might as well start with Todd. Todd, question for you, sir. Anything exciting this week from you that you've read or you'd like to discuss?
It's all exciting from me. That's
Is it
all you get? That's all I give. Is
that all you give?
exciting news?
All right,
That's all.
sweet.
That's
Nice.
all. I mean,
you been
just
reading
that
anything
format.
lately? Watching anything?
Well, yeah, I have.
Oh yeah, and what is that?
I watched Wolf Walker. Have you guys heard of this?
Yes, it's that new animated feature from the guys who did the Kel, the Legend of Kel.
The Legend of Kells, yeah.
Yes,
And they also did they did one called Song of the Sea about Irish Selkies, which are people that can turn. No, they can turn into seals.
Oh,
yeah,
sweet.
So,
sounds sexy.
I got these two guys recently. Gannon, did you read this yet?
I haven't gotten to that one yet.
This one's pretty sweet, man. You guys, I mean, we're getting more deeper into the mythos, and there's a pretty
this week.
couple of cool fight scenes in it. And then True Number 5 came out. That's I think that's the end of this. So,
no more.
I think it's 5 out of 5. There might be one more left, but I've been saving this one because I don't want it to end. I don't want it to be over. I guess I could just go back and read the original 60-issue series if I'm feeling nostalgic. But yeah, I read those books. I gave them 10 out of 10 stars. I'm waiting for the new Ascender. I want to get Crossover, and I want to get Scumbag, and I need to get by Alika's shop to pick those up.
Nice.
The other thing, I guess, that's been going on with me is I'm all caught up on The Mandalorian.
What? No,
Yeah.
Todd Bernardi's caught up. He reinstated his account.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you guys have been talking it up, so naturally, I'm thoroughly disappointed.
Of course you are. All right. Well, listen. Would you guys like to start with this latest edition or the latest episode of The Mandalorian and do that review before we get into the big news, or do you want to hold that off for later? What do you guys want to do? You tell me. You guys want to do big news first, or you want to do Mandalorian?
I just find it odd that Alika's not here to talk about his favorite guy in the whole world being in Star Wars again.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
And this is the one episode he'd be excited about.
Right, absolutely. Well, I tell you what, let's I think we should start off with, I don't know, the news. What do you think? Big news.
To be honest, I think they should have saved the Bill Burr episodes for when they were in Hoth.
Sure. That is definitely fair.
I don't think you get it.
I got it. No, I got it.
Did you get it though?
Yeah, kind of. Anyway,
wait, is it because he wants to crawl into Tauntaun? Is that
no, stupid? Because his name is Bill Burr.
Burr, like Hoth. Yeah, because it's cold. Why isn't it called Colt?
Yeah, man.
I don't.
Over there.
I don't get it.
I mean, it smells funny on the outside.
A good buddy of ours.
Are you talking about you talking about
Scott
Bill
is
Burr?
in the house.
Bill Burr?
He said everyone is so stern-faced. I don't know why that is. Scott, nice to see you, buddy. Anyway, yeah. So, you know what? Screw the Mandalorian. I said it. That's what I said. Screw the Mandalorian.
Is that why you're saying that?
We'll get to it momentarily. Okay, we'll get to it momentarily because there's some big news on the horizon that we should definitely talk about. You could definitely say that Disney and Marvel and those guys came to play because well, let's just call it big Disney announcements. Is exactly what happened.
I like my turn better.
What?
They pulled their dicks out.
No, don't say that. That's awful. All right, so some big Disney announcements are what we're going to talk about right now, and I will get into it as we slowly get in. It looks like, of course, it looks like Disney had their huge investor meeting this past weekend or this past week, and they've announced a lot of things. I've got a list, guys, so if I miss anything, please chime in. First off, here's everything.
Something today too, on top of it all.
Right. So hold on to that. Let me start from the beginning. Disney just they did a huge announcement at their 2020 Investor Day, including updates on new Marvel, Star Wars, and Disney Animation Studios projects. And here are some of the big announcements that are coming to Disney Plus and Disney's other new streaming service that they're going to have, where they can have their R-rated movies. But first off, Disney Plus series. Obviously, we've known about it for a long time. They have confirmed WandaVision will be released on the 15th of January on Disney Plus. It also got a new trailer. Yep. It also got a new trailer. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier also got a full trailer with a March release date. Not sure what day exactly, but Falcon and the Winter Soldier is happening. That's a big one. We also got, and this is the one we want to talk about because we talked about WandaVision and the Falcon and Winter Soldier before. We got a first look at Loki, Disney's highly anticipated short series based on Tom Hiddleston's God of Mischief character. That show also got a release date of May 2021. After seeing that, were you guys impressed with it, or what do you guys think?
Is Loki DB Cooper?
There's a lot. There is. I have to tell you, there is some rumor that yes, it is. He is DB Cooper in that show.
He's what?
He's DB Cooper, the famous thief that never was found. Don't you remember?
The guy that robbed an airplane and got away with it.
Yeah, right. He stole a bunch of money from a bank, hit an airplane, got on the airplane, and jumped off the airplane and never seen again.
You guys are saying that Loki is the real life guy?
Like Loki's going to be playing DB Cooper. Yes.
I thought.
Did you not watch the trailer?
No,
that whole scene where he's got the suitcase of money in the airplane and he.
Right. He's taking on the appearance of DB Cooper in the trailer. That's what the theory is right now.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, whatever.
Man, you're not impressed. Neither is.
I would have been way more interested if it. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a big part of it, but I really didn't see Loki being the kind of character to get involved in heist type stories. I don't know.
Well, that's why they definitely prefaced it with a short series. It's not going to be a very long series. So we're just going to get a glimpse into Loki. Also, we also got a Hawkeye is premiering on Disney Plus in late fall of 2021. The studio also confirmed that Haley Steinfeld will be appearing in the series. Okay. We also
pictures of her, so I mean, it's not like they were saying anything new.
Yeah. Also, we got What If.
I still feel really terrible for the girl that played the daughter and he called her Hawkeye, and then she must have been thinking like, "Oh, I get to be Hawkeye in the next thing," and then
No.
Also, real quick,
yes.
in Hawkeye, they also cast Echo from Daredevil.
Oh,
Did you
really?
hear about that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
Echo is a Daredevil villain who she's like her mutant power is that she's a mimic, so she can see something once and become sort of an expert in it. So she becomes kind of an expert assassin in martial arts that way. But she's deaf. She can't hear anything. She is she's also Native American in the comic book, and so they actually casted the role with a deaf Native American girl.
Well, yeah, and that Hawkeye looks. Hopefully, it's a good series. We'll see. I mean, we'll see the kind of trajectory they're on once we see some of the series that we're supposed to see soon, like WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Man, maybe I should. Did you guys see all these trailers? Because if not, I can play some of them on the show so everybody can see them.
Yeah, I'm sure Disney would love that.
Yeah, I know. That's the only thing I was thinking too. So, yeah.
Lord knows we want this show to actually go up anywhere.
Yeah. Also, the Disney announced What If? It's an animated series from Marvel Studios that features the voice acting cast of many Marvel Cinematic Universe stars. It also got a new trailer that offered a first look at the upcoming series. So that was really cool. That did you guys see the trailer for What If?
I'm there for Peggy Carter being Captain America. That's kind of it for me.
That looks really cool.
I dig it.
Yeah, did you? And you guys all saw the trailer for it. It looks really cool. I thought it looked really cool.
Yeah, and I mean, What If was always great when it came to the possibilities where they could take the story. So I'm in.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was definitely really fun. I think What Ifs were always fun comics to read. Also, Feige, as in Kevin Feige, also announced 3 new series coming to Disney Plus. Ironheart set to star Dominic. What?
Wait, hold on.
What?
They should do a What If episode where Marvel never existed, and therefore they're never called the Avengers.
No, that I mean that's a What If story for sure. Never called the Avengers. Come on, that's impossible.
Because that's where their name came from. It came from her, the character that got shown to us 10 years later. All of a sudden, that's where her. Came.
Also, big news. Feige announced Ironheart set to star Dominique Thorne, engineering protege Riri Williams. Also,
Riri in this cancel culture environment we live in.
That's the name of the character. Also, Armor Wars, which examines one of Tony Stark's biggest fears and stars Don Cheadle, who is reprising his role as Colonel James Rhodey Rhodes. And Secret Invasion, the previously rumored Nick Fury-led series that will see Samuel L. Jackson reprise his role as the S.H.I.E.L.D. director alongside Ben Mendelsohn's Skull shapeshifter Talos. No release dates for the new projects were announced. So that the Secret Invasion sounds really cool, and so does the Ironheart series.
The Secret Invasion one actually left me a little disappointed because that's the kind of story that should have been saved for a movie, in my opinion. For the scale
you could probably flesh it out more on Disney Plus, don't you think?
Well, then you could have fleshed out virtually every other Avengers movie too, if you really want to go with that logic.
I mean,
Also
seriously.
the thing of like, will we even have theaters in the next couple of years? You know what I mean?
No, we won't. Yeah, it's a good point as well. No, we won't.
We probably won't even have theaters anymore. So.
Yep.
But I don't know. Secret Invasion is an all-encompassing story, so that should have been something saved for a bigger thing. But who knows? They probably know what they're doing, and they'll probably
maybe. Well, like I said, maybe there are some other plans considering what if they're doing Secret Invasion for Disney Plus. Who knows what they're going to do as far as the theatrical films? Also, Marvel Studios chief Kevin Feige also gave some casting updates on the already announced Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel also came out with a trailer. As a matter of fact, just recently, I believe it was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
There was a little trailer or a teaser trailer that just came out. You guys can look it up. I mean, I'll try and look it up here once I finish up reading. Notably, Tatiana Maslany will play the lead role in She-Hulk, with Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner also set to appear, while Miss Marvel star Iman Vellani's Kamala Khan will appear in Captain Marvel 2. Kevin Feige noted that the shows will continue to interweave with the greater Marvel Cinematic Universe. Also,
you're reading that off the computer, aren't you?
Well, listen, it's just not. I need all this information.
You were literally telling us that, like you remembered all this, but you.
I normally do, but this one was there. I normally remember all this stuff, but there was a lot of stuff this week or this past week. So
Tim Roth is in the She-Hulk show as Abomination, which is the first time that character's been back in this since 2008.
Which is really super cool. I really think it's a
cut. Not to mention because I didn't think we'd ever see that character back.
Yep.
I think it'll be interesting if She-Hulk represents A-Bomb in a court proceeding.
Ooh.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
That was the first thing that popped
it.
in my head. I don't know.
I like that.
I know everybody's all into the action, pow, pow, punch, punch. But I was like, what if they turned it into a courtroom drama? That'd be dope.
Just like at the end of the case of Bruce or case of David Banner, like in the original series.
You know what was kind of interesting? I know technically it's not a Disney property, but it would have been. It would have been, I guess, conducive for them to have mentioned anything going on in the Spider-Man movie, where virtually anybody that's ever been in a movie with a Spider-Man in it is going to be in that movie.
Well,
Yeah,
I was
very
gonna
nice.
get to that, you freak.
I don't
But
know. I
since
keep
you,
saying poor Tom Holland, man, because that movie is being hijacked from him left, right, and center.
well, let's get right into it. While Disney is announcing all the stuff, Sony has announced that they are literally doing a multiverse Spider-Man movie for the next Tom Holland Spider-Man, which includes now Sandman and the Green Goblin and
Well, those aren't
the only
confirmed. Those are in the
yeah.
works. Those aren't confirmed yet.
Yeah, we do know we haven't heard confirmation if Paul Giamatti's coming back as the Rhino, but you never know. But yeah, it looks like everybody is getting fit into the Spider-Man 3 show. It looks like they're setting up for Sinister Six, so that's another huge announcement that came out this week as well.
On top of that,
What was that again?
Miles Morales to be in that movie too.
Miles Morales they said that Miles Morales was going to be in the new Spider-Man movie as well. That thing is going to be jam-packed. They're going to start their own Spider-Verse for sure.
You know what are always the best Spider-Man movies? When they shoehorn tons of crap into one story. Those are always the best Spider-Man movies. I don't know if you guys ever noticed that.
Yeah, that's why Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire was the best one.
Spider-Man.
Well, I mean, I think
Spider-Man
it's
2,
pretty much
anytime
killed
you
two
shoehorn
franchises.
everything in. Those are always the best ones.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, if Sony does it right, and if Sony follows the lead of Marvel, they may get this. So who knows? Also, Marvel's what?
Well, hold on. I want to check on this. What movie did you want to see? Did you want to see the Spider-Man movie where he gets outed to the public and then he has to deal with the repercussions of it, or did you just want to see a multiverse movie? Because I don't see any way that storyline that they left off in the second movie will ever actually get paid off in this one, because it's a whole other thing now.
I'll be honest with you.
I mean,
for me, I am sick and tired of everybody finding out who Peter Parker is. They've done that in every single Spider-Man movie that has currently come out. I am sick of that being one of the tropes.
Well, to be fair,
But-
in all the other Spider-Man movies, there's always some weird reason why he has to take his mask off, so it's really his fault.
and it is, and I don't know why I understand why.
I actually
movie-
watched Homecoming not too long ago, and I forgot he takes his mask off at the end of that movie too.
Well, I do understand why they are doing that. I do understand why movie companies want them to take the mask off, because they want to know who the star is. But for me, it makes zero sense. So I'm kind of done with that crap already. I just want to see a fun movie, just like the Avengers. Maybe a Spider-Verse would be cool. Getting more villains and things like that would be super, super cool, in my opinion. So I'm all for it. Also, Marvel Studios is working on a new Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special for Disney Plus, due out in 2022.
They're
will be
shooting that with Part 3. They said.
Yeah, that will be directed by James Gunn. The special will film alongside the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, also directed by Gunn and set for release in 2023. There is also I Am Groot, a series of short films starring Rocket Raccoon. No, Groot, obviously.
You should have been like the series I Am Groot, starring Tobey Maguire and
right. Also, in the Marvel movies category, Kevin Feige confirmed that Black Panther 2 will not recast the late Chadwick Boseman's King T'Challa. The film, set to be directed by Ryan Coogler, is still set for July 2022. I think we pretty much knew that T'Challa wasn't going to be recast. I think we already kind of knew that at this point.
They had a secondary announcement. Didn't you hear what they said?
I missed that. No.
Hologram Boseman, sir.
Oh my gosh! Don't do that.
Boseman.
One of the movies that I'm very excited about is a third Ant-Man film, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, is officially in development. Peyton Reed will return to direct, as will Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, Michael Douglas, and Michelle Pfeiffer. Quantumania will also introduce Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror, one of Marvel's biggest villains. So that's really cool. Another cool announcement that was made, which I really like, and I this one also made me very excited. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness will tie into both the upcoming WandaVision and Sony and Marvel's third Spider-Man movie. The studio also confirmed that Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange will be appearing in the still unnamed Spider-Man sequel. that is going to be fun and exciting. And I hope Multiverse of Madness is good.
To Tom Holland, where all these other Spider-Men came from.
Well, it makes sense because if Doctor Strange is going to be there, the Multiverse of Madness, it only makes sense that he be part of that movie. So, I mean, obviously, if this is going to be the last hurrah for Sony and Marvel, I mean, this is the way to go out, I guess, to reintroduce those characters, right?
I'm actually wondering if, like you said, it's be like the last hurrah, and the fix to make them all go back to their alternate realities is that Tom Holland's Spider-Man needs to be severed from the MCU as we know it.
Oh my gosh, that would be crazy.
And now he's up on his own adventures, and like he'll have a memory of them, but there's never an MCU in his universe anymore. I'm wondering. If
Wow, that would be quite interesting.
That would be sad though, because
that would be super sad. But I mean, to be fair, Marvel is that would be an interesting way to go out, considering that Marvel would be doing the same favor for Sony that Sony did for Marvel with Spider-Man. So, you know, it would be kind of cool.
What favors that?
Well, just because Sony didn't have to work alongside Marvel with Spider-Man, they could.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't. No.
Spider-Man 2.
In the realm of business, they could have just left that completely alone. They didn't even have to touch it because they own the property. So they decided to make.
They don't own the property.
They own the rights to Spider-Man, the Spider-Man movies.
When their second go around rebooting the franchise, and it was already off to a bad start with the second movie, they needed the help.
Well, like I said,
they knew they were floundering.
Well, they didn't.
I don't think they really cared.
Exactly. Thank you. That's exactly what I mean.
They were perfectly fine making another crappy movie.
Yep.
As long as they got to hold on to the rights.
Yep. Absolutely. 100%.
Okay, but when you have the first two and those are so critically well received and they did a lot of money, and then every sequel after that has been doing lackluster business, you do want to keep making money, and that Sony doesn't have a lot of franchises to back off of.
When you have Spider-Man,
all they have to do to keep the property is just make a crappy movie.
Right. And
it doesn't have to be good. They just have to make a movie. That's what the contract is.
And they make the millions.
What's the value of a property if it's not making money?
Because it's Spider-Man.
They could film it with an iPhone and still keep the property. It's, you know what I mean? It doesn't really matter how many millions and billions, but they put it in there because people like Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's going to make money regardless. And this, like I said,
they want to make more, not less.
It's not about it's them. It's the property is more, the property itself or the rights to that Spider-Man is more valuable than the movie.
You would think so, right? You would think that the goal is to make more money, but they don't care as long as they get to keep the rights to the character.
Because owning the rights to that character is big.
But if that were true, they never would have partnered with Marvel then.
And that's what I'm trying to say is that they needed,
partnering with Marvel benefits them greatly.
And like I said, that's why I will agree with you, because if that is the case, Sony benefits
but it's now it's all in Sony's hands.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
So now
they have Marvel bent over.
Right. Exactly. Marvel is bent over a barrel.
I don't think I agree with that.
You know why? Because why would
now Sony can say no, you guys don't get Spider-Man.
Right, and Sony can say we're out. Sony is going to be out after this third movie. They're out.
No, but they did do that.
What do you mean?
They were at one point not going to continue their partnership with Marvel, and then they decided, because of the fan outcry, okay, you know what? Let's go back and do it. They didn't.
So
it wasn't the fans. No. It wasn't because of the fan outcry. It was because hey, we can make a fat sack of money.
And we don't have to share it with Marvel.
That's what I was arguing.
You think they care about the fans? Holy crap!
Well, they didn't.
I can't believe it.
The sixth Andrew Garfield movie by now.
Phormat and I are so on simpatico on this subject. They don't really give a crap about the fans. As long as they put Star Wars in a costume in our faces, they think they satisfy us, which is just fine. Having Marvel now on this last movie, for them to step aside and build their own Spider-Verse, I think is a big deal. And I think it's a big FU to Marvel saying, hey, listen, we're going to take our own universe and we're going to go play on our own yard, and you guys do what you're going to do. And I hope that's not the case. I hope it isn't, but I think that's what's going to happen.
With Doctor Strange, that's a Marvel character. jumping from a Marvel storyline that Marvel's initiating.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Spider-Man 3 movies existing is because of what Marvel's doing. It has nothing to do with what they're doing on their own.
Right, but what I think Phormat and I are trying to convey
it's the easy way out. Right. They don't have to write a story.
They don't.
Feige's doing it all for them. All they have to do is sit back and collect the check.
I get why you guys are cynical, but I mean, if we're being cynical about it, and if it was really just about making money in their IP, they would never partner with Marvel because then they have to share profits with the character.
That's the thing is that
but they're playing the long con, dude.
7th movie with Andrew Garfield if they really didn't care about maximizing their efforts.
In the time of
but
COVID,
they've got Sony's got Marvel in their pocket now.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that do you think in the time of COVID,
that's how important the character of Spider-Man is to the Marvel universe?
I agree with that 100%.
What do you guys think that? Do you think that this indicates the fact that John Watts is going to do the work for Marvel and do the first Fantastic?
Who the hell is John Watts?
First of all, before you get to that, before I answer that, ladies and gentlemen, I don't even believe it. He is.
All right, enough with the music. Come on. You guys are talking about something. Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Alika from Maui Comics and Collectibles. Anyway, thank you for joining us, Alika.
Stupid stuff about Disney and Spider-Man.
All right, so essentially we've been kind of discussing and debating the validity of the partnership between Marvel and Sony, saying that this the final movie that Sony is doing with Marvel is going to be it, and they're going to take their Spider-Man ball and go home with it. And so that's what they're setting up for these next movies, or this next movie. So,
I think it's pointless actually to speculate on that. They totally could.
Well, I think that's why we're seeing. I mean, and like I said, we could be wrong about this, but I think that's why Phormat and I are seeing what we're seeing as far as the casting of seeing Tobey Maguire back, Andrew Garfield, and now Sandman and the Green Goblin, and we're all hearing this stuff coming out that it's going to be a multiverse movie, and hence Doctor Strange.
Well, it's the Sony playbook.
They were watching the NERDWatch, and they heard how big a fan I was of Thomas Hayden Church's Sandman. So they were like, "We got to get him back."
That was
him in that movie.
That was the only thing that was good about
that. Was the only thing that kept him going.
He was so good.
Back, by the way,
100%.
How's Willem Dafoe supposed to come back? He stabbed himself in the balls with his glider.
Now and died.
That's true. That's very true.
And answering, what's his name? Todd Bernardi, answering Todd Bernardi's question about John Watts. John Watts, of course, is the director of the new Spider-Man franchise with Tom Holland. He did both Homecoming and Far From Home. He has been signed on to do one of Marvel's biggest new movies. He signed on to direct the new Fantastic Four movie that is currently being developed at Marvel Studios.
Sorry, John Krasinski and Emily.
Oh, neat.
So John Watts is going to direct that. Now, does that mean he's not going to do Spider-Man?
Are they confirmed?
Yeah, John Watts is confirmed to direct it. I think
Krasinski and.
Oh no, that would be awesome.
Oh no, not that. I was talking about the confirmation. Yeah, I think there was an actual confirmation of there being a Fantastic Four movie, which I think Alika is the only guy that I know is excited about. So
I'm excited for it.
I'd be excited for it.
You think so?
Dude.
All right. That's fair.
This kind of ties into what you guys were saying about keeping an IP alive at your company too, about holding the rights to it. Because when Roger Corman's Fantastic Four was made, I was legitimately excited to see it. I remember that was a film that was specifically made just to retain the rights, and I remember seeing it at a comic convention, and nobody in their right mind wanted to see this movie. I wanted to see this movie. I saw the trailer. I was like, And speaking of nerds who love the Fantastic Four, Carl Amano in the chat, he is all like, I'm just glad that movie studios are willing to put themselves out there and either make these movies that are like placeholders for the rights or anything, that we are the beneficiaries of these multi-million-dollar mistakes. Like who else gets to benefit from things like that? Like, there's no there's no fucking name an obscure property that nobody cares about. Like these, at least as comic fans, we get these movies once in a while.
Star Trek.
Yeah. What? No, Star Trek is a big property. That's a bad example.
All right, that's a terrible example.
Rom the Space Knight.
Yeah, Rom Space Knight. That's definitely another one. Yeah.
No one cares about that one. Right, Paul?
Speaking of, that was Marvel's big slate. Speaking of Star Wars, speaking of Star Wars, of course, at this Disney Investor Day, there was also a big announcement from the Star Wars franchises. It looks like Disney Plus is getting 2 new Star Wars shows, both spin-offs of The Mandalorian, Rangers of the New Republic, and Ahsoka. The 3 shows are planned to feature crossovers in the future as well. Now, for those of you that don't know, there is a rumor that is going around right now that if you saw the symbol for the Ahsoka series that they have out right now, the symbol behind the Ahsoka name is what they call the Veil of the Force. Now, according to Star Wars lore, the Veil of the Force is a way for them to erase the sequel trilogy off of Star Wars's canon.
Where the hell did they say that?
Look up Veil of the Force. That's all you got to do.
That sounds like speculation.
Oh, man.
That's all I'm saying. All right?
The Veil of the Force is already working. You guys already forgot all about it.
Right. Veil of the Force. Just look up the Veil of the Force. Look up the. You know what? Maybe I can look up the Ahsoka.
I think the Veil of the Force is how Luke got Leia to make out with him.
Makes sense.
Ew. In the Splinter of the Mind's Eye? Ew. Gross.
Luke was like, "We're not brother and sister."
That's right. You're not brother and sister. Your dad, Darth Vader, and my dad, Darth Vader, and myself picked you up. So yeah. So here, let me share this with all you guys and dolls here. Here it is. Bam. Anyway, this is what here's what it looks like, and I will share my screen with you all so you can see it above. Bam. Bingo. Share
bam. That. I don't see anything.
You keep doing bam and nothing happens.
I know, right?
All right, right
bam.
Here. No,
bam.
Bam. Shut up. I shared the wrong screen, you bastards.
Bam.
Great Google.
Bam, right there. So if you look behind the Ahsoka, this, according to Star Wars lore, if you look behind it,
oh, I get it. Ahsoka, a circle.
They call it the Veil of the Force. Now, the Veil of the Force it sucks people through. It's like it's wormhole or I don't know a lot about it, but I do know it has the effect of possibly erasing the sequel trilogy off of canon.
This sounds like wishful thinking.
Hey, listen,
that's a very stupid thing.
And you guys could very well be right, but that's the rumor that.
But it sounds like you're trying to deny election results or something kooky like that.
No. You're literally pulling an entire thought process off of a title card. How ridiculous that is.
Jackasses. I'm not the one coming up with this. I am just letting you know.
Oh, we know you don't come up with any of this.
Yeah. So I just want you to know that this is the rumor that is going around. That's the Veil of the Force. You can look that up yourself. Also, it looks like Star Wars. What was that, Kai?
Veil of the Force.
What was that, Kai?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead. You're kind of soft, but go ahead.
It's a star map.
Okay.
It's not a Veil of the Force. It's a star map.
Well, like I said, I don't know why he's whispering. It's weird. His microphone is really off. Anyway, moving on. Star Wars: The Bad Batch, an animated series about the Bad Batch of clones from the Clone Wars, will debut.
I thought that was a remake of the Jason Momoa movie.
It will debut exclusively on Disney Plus. Only person that I know is excited.
I honestly admit that I read the bad bitch, and I was like, man, what? Man, Disney.
Yeah, so I know that
They're making two Ahsoka shows.
If you are familiar with the Clone Wars, the Bad Batch could be a great jumping off point
Is
for
it
you
like
to
the Danny DeVito's of Clone Troopers? Is that what it is?
could be the
Yeah.
Bad Batch is like the crap left over. That's what it is. It's like they were the crap left over.
I didn't watch that show, so I don't know what it's about.
Also,
Oh, man.
the
I
show
can't wait to see the Schwarzenegger squad then.
the show that
Ones
I
can
am
actually hit stuff when they shoot at it.
the show that I am personally not even remotely interested in seeing, but we're going to see it anyway. Star Wars Andor, starring Rogue One's Diego Luna, is coming to Disney Plus in 2022. Huh?
I still don't know who the hell asked for that. Who wants that?
I don't know.
I don't understand where this is. I mean, I know where it's going. We all know where it's going.
I've talked to people that are like, the only good new Star Wars movie was Rogue One.
Yeah, and
so those are the people that this is for.
When you say you're talking to guys who say that, just say his name. It's James Silvani.
He's not the only. He's not the only guy that I talk to.
But also, you're right, because a lot of the new canon, it's hit or miss with a lot of fans. But Rogue One was so strongly received in that universe. That corner of the universe, people really want to have more experience in there and have more time in there. So when you're saying nobody asked for this, I think plenty of people asked for this. I just think,
specifically that character. That's that character.
That's what I was just going to say. Thank you for interrupting me. That corner of the universe.
Fair play, sir.
Yeah, that corner of the universe deserves exploration. But you're right. Maybe Cassian Andor wasn't the best character or the most exciting character that they could have announced they were following around.
Right.
The fact that we're going to be going around in that pocket of the Star Wars universe is exciting, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, they should just give Mayfield his own show.
I will say this: the only thing that I have a problem with is that
Mayfield and Hoth.
I mean,
Mayfield. Hey, can we just start talking about Mayfield? Cancel the rest of the stuff.
All I know is that they must be starting before Rogue One, because I don't see the interest of following Andor after what happened in Rogue One. I don't understand.
Okay, great.
Because he's dead?
I got it right here.
Yeah, no, I would love to follow his space corpse.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Listen, I got it.
Maybe he flies around in space like Leia does.
The planet vaporizes, right? We watch it for like a second. All of a sudden, it dematerializes.
Right.
Who walks in? It's Dr. Manhattan. He brought everybody back.
Well, here's something. If you guys
watched Veil of the Force.
Veil of the Force.
Exactly. Turns out the Veil of the Force is Dr. Manhattan.
If you guys listened to the commentary from Gareth Edwards, who made Rogue One, the original ending was for them to live. So I don't know. We don't know.
That's so stupid.
I don't know. Anyway, also,
why would they live?
I don't know. Gareth Edwards, the original ending was for them to survive.
They weren't Bothans, so they could have lived.
Yeah, that's true. That's such an idiot.
Well, that's a common misunderstanding, Todd. It wasn't many Bothans, the race. It was actually a guy named Manny Bothans.
Manny Bothans. that totally makes sense.
That was clarified in the Tag and Bink comics. So
nice. Nice.
It's totally canon.
Also announced from Disney in the Star Wars universe, The Acolyte, a new Star Wars series helmed by Russian doll creator Leslie Headland, set in the High Republic era of the franchise, and that is also coming to Disney Plus.
That's exciting. That is very exciting, because we don't have a lot of canon exposure except for the fact that we're getting a comic of the High Republic era. A lot of the High Republic stuff was, in Legends, in Dark Horse, and the novels. And so it's kind of wiped away when they did the big Disney wipe. So I like seeing that part of those parts of the Star Wars universe that haven't been rebuilt by Disney yet, because it's exciting. Are they going to use exactly what they had in the Legends? What are they going to change about it? And plus, it's a very interesting time in the Star Wars galaxy.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm ready for some Star Wars with lightsabers.
You might get that.
There are going to be so many freaking lightsabers in this thing.
You may get
So
that with this
excited.
next
So many.
announcement, Todd Bernardi. Hayden Christensen is returning as Darth Vader in the new Obi-Wan Kenobi series coming to Disney Plus.
Yay!
I can't
That's
wait.
right, boys and girls. You may get your wish. Hayden Christensen is coming back
Isn't that
coming
kind
back
of a waste,
home.
though? He's just going to be in the Darth Vader outfit the whole time. That could be anybody in there.
Hey, can I ask you something, Gannon? What else is Hayden Christensen doing?
Huh?
2 words. Pedro
Oh, he's working
Pascal.
like his second shift to Target right now.
Yeah, 2 words. Thank you, Phormat. Pedro
It
Pascal.
could be anyone under there.
And
Exactly.
and like Pedro Pascal, he's gonna get it written into his contract that he's gonna bitch fit until he gets to take the helmet off once a season.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. That could be it. We could see his marred visage.
Yeah,
on-
because spoilers, the Mandalorian broke his oath again. Great Mandalorian, that Din Djarin.
the
And
Dim Djarin.
Mayfield's a human, by the way. So he's like, that's a double no.
Also announced by Disney, a droid story. A new project for Disney Plus will feature a new hero alongside R2-D2 and C-3PO.
Oh, I don't want to. I thought it was going to be fun droids, like the trash droids that run around the bit.
Right?
Oh,
I'm kind of
Swamp
disappointed in
droids.
C-3PO and R2.
are they making a Toy Story movie in the Star Wars universe? How sweet!
I want to
Feels like
follow L3's adventures before they met up with Lando when they were like a sex worker bot. That would be
Yeah.
Sweet.
Before they
Sweet.
trap her in a computer.
yeah. That's the Android movie I want to see.
Now, the last 2 series that were announced from Disney, just for Disney Plus, the first one is Star Wars Lando. It's a new event series coming to Disney Plus. Not much information was given other than
It's
that.
just Donald Glover losing like gambling bets.
Yeah. He's like, what other important Star Wars artifacts did he lose to people in wagers?
Right. It's a show
Like,
about gambling.
Oh my goodness! I just lost Luke Skywalker's hand and lightsaber.
It's a show about Lando's gambling addiction and his
That's
downfall.
how Maz Kanata got it.
That's how Maz Kanata got it.
That's the thing is that we find out that he has a gambling addiction, which leads him to betray his friends on Cloud City for the money. That's because he's got a gambling debt.
He gets in a wager with Boba Fett. He's like, "Oh my goodness, Boba Fett, you have re-won Slave One from me."
It's true. It's very true. Last but not least, Star Wars series that will be coming to Disney Plus is Star Wars Visions.
Yes.
Is an upcoming anime anthology series that'll be
That
coming to
looks
Disney
dope.
Plus.
That looks
actually
really cool.
Amazing.
That looks really good. Star Wars Visions. Now, that was just the Disney Plus series. There were also announcements for Star Wars movies, if you can believe it. First off, the biggest announcement. Wonder Woman 1984's Patty Jenkins will be directing the next Star Wars movie, Rogue Squadron, due
That
out
looks
in
dope.
December
I'm so stoked for
2023.
that.
So that is really, really cool. So that's really exciting. Disney also discussed the untitled Taika Waititi Star Wars movie, first announced in May, that had already been in development, but no other information was given other than that. So we can look forward to that as well.
It's a Jar Jar Binks movie.
Oh, dude, that would be dope.
That is there are so many corners of this Star Wars galaxy that I love exploring. I would love to spend more time with my man Jar Jar.
But no, let's make a movie about Cassian Andor.
You know what? Because Jar Jar, after the first episode, he's like an important senator. He's like a very, he runs things.
He is.
Right?
He is. He totally
And
is.
He's in charge of stuff, man.
I need to see him in very serious.
serious.
I need to see some very serious situations where he's like talking to high council and stuff. He's like,
Oh, that doesn't happen for that poor man.
it's gonna be awesome.
It's
Jar Jar
just
got the
Jar.
worst end
It's
of it.
Jar Jar and Mace Windu going on adventures.
Yeah. Oh, that
That'd
was
be
so
so-
good.
I'd be down. I'd be down for that.
What was that?
And have the occasional Mayfeld cameo.
Oh, Mayfeld, yes. And they
Really into
all hang out at Canto Bite.
There you go. There you go.
And that's
Gambling? Yeah.
Yep.
gambling with Lando.
Lando.
That he can lose all the-
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Lando losing stuff in Canto Bite. There you go.
Yeah. That's sweet. Well,
You're
if you
welcome,
can believe
Marvel.
if you can't believe it, Disney losing so much money this year. That was not. Those are some huge announcements. That's not it. Because Disney has more announcements of its own to make. Disney Animation has a lot of projects in the works, and they include, according to them, this one's from Disney Animation. We'll move on to Pixar in a minute, but Disney Animation first. Raya and the Last Dragon premieres March 5th, 2021 on Disney Plus via Premier Access and in theaters. Raya and the Last Dragon is currently, you can currently see the trailer on YouTube, on the internet right now. It looks all right.
Is that the Bruce Leroy sequel?
No, it's definitely not the Bruce Leroy sequel.
No.
No. Also,
She
Disney
doesn't
Animation.
have the glow.
No, she does definitely not have the glow. Disney Animation also announced Baymax, a series based on Big Hero 6. That'll be arriving in early 2022. Also, this next one is for Alika and Alika alone. Zootopia Plus, a new series based on
You mean the third Reich?
2022.
The fourth? Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. We already had the third one. This is going to be the fourth Reich of the animal kingdom, right?
Zootopia Plus,
where the bunnies assume their rightful position, ruling over all the inferior races.
That's right. That's right.
That's the feel-good anti-racism flick we need these days.
That's right.
Zootopia Plus.
Yes,
You
it's
can never trust a fox.
Is that when they jack all the predators in the Matrix so they no longer are able to harm sheep and bunnies? Is that the one where they harvest them?
About right.
They harvest them for their energy and then turn them into manure so they can grow carrots for the lovable, peaceful bunny population.
Jesus Christ, Alika. That's some dark thoughts, man.
Oh, I'm just excited for Zootopia Plus, the racially harmonious utopia.
I knew this is the reaction I wanted from Alika. This is great.
It's going to be great.
I'll move on. Speaking of diversity, Alika, Tiana, based on The Princess and the Frog, is premiering on Disney Plus in 2023.
Didn't they do the New Orleans Princess and the Frog thingy?
Yeah, no, but this is a continuing series for her. It's
it's the same character. It's the same character.
Okay.
So,
didn't they already make a movie with a character named Tiana?
Speaking of diversity, you can't get diverse in Polynesian because guess what? A long-form musical comedy series for Moana is hitting Disney Plus in 2023.
Long-form musical comedy.
Is that going to be animated or live action?
Don't know. They didn't say. I'm assuming. Well, you know what? To be fair, it's going to be animation because this is under the heading of Disney Animation. So yes,
it's going to be beatnik poetry.
Also, there's also a new movie for Disney Animation called Encanto. It's a new movie set in Colombia with music written by one of Alika's favorites, Lin-Manuel Miranda. It's in development. Ugh, gross. Also, there's also another animated film from Disney Animation called Iwaju, an original long-form series made in partnership with Kugali Media, and that is premiering on Disney Plus in 2022. Now, on to some Pixar Disney Plus series that have been announced. The newest Spark Shorts episode, Burrow, arrives on Disney Plus on December 25th of this year. Burro. But it's not Spanish. It's Burrow. So I think it's just Burrow. Burro. That's fine too. Pixar Popcorn. These are shorts featuring iconic Pixar characters, and those start streaming in January of 2021.
Like the old chess guy.
Mm-hmm. There's also a movie. There's also a new series on Disney Plus called Dog Days. It's a new series featuring the beloved dog Doug from Up, which is probably the most terrible Pixar movie ever made. Premieres in fall of 2021.
You shut your mouth.
It sucked. It
was
overrated.
The best one.
It sucks so bad, dude. That movie sucked. Anyway, listen, a Cars series is coming out as well, following Lightning McQueen and Mater. That's coming to Disney Plus in fall 2022. We need another car. I can't believe we're doing another Cars series, but whatever.
I thought we were moving on to planes and stuff.
I thought we were too. We got to move on. And then finally from Disney Pixar Plus series, Win or Lose, Pixar's first original long-form animated series, is about a middle school softball team. It's coming to Disney Plus in the fall of 2023. And if you can believe it, finally, Disney Pixar is also having movies released. They shared information about movies in the pipeline, and that include Luca, a movie set in Italy about a boy named Luca. Shocking.
Oh my goodness.
2021.
Oh, they really threw me for a loop.
Luca, a movie set in Italy
threw me
about
for a Luca.
Richard. Yeah. No. Also, there's also another Pixar movie called Turning Red about a 13-year-old girl going through puberty that transforms into a giant red panda. She gets excited. What the?
Okay.
What?
That was a different. that was a different direction.
She turns into a giant red panda when she gets excited. I don't know what that means.
Who doesn't?
I don't know. But last and the most intriguing Pixar movie that I see on the docket is Lightyear. An origin story of Buzz Lightyear, who will be voiced by Chris Evans, is hitting theaters in summer 2022.
I looked that up a little bit. It's not going to be like Buzz Lightyear, but the person that the toy was based on.
Correct. Yes, that's exactly right. That is absolutely right. So this is about the
them
hero
saying they're going to make a movie based on Cassian Andor.
Yeah. So you had a movie about a toy called Buzz Lightyear, and now we're going to learn about the real guy who is the basis of that toy, courtesy of Chris Evans' voice.
Oh god, because we wanted to learn about that. Nobody even nobody knew that was a thing. What the?
There you go.
I'd much rather learn about the real Woody.
I'm going to give you a couple more announcements that came from the investor meeting. First off, this has nothing to do with Disney, Marvel. I mean, doesn't have anything to do with Disney Animation, Marvel, or Star Wars. But interesting, nonetheless, because Disney owns these properties.
What else is left?
Noah Hawley is making an Alien TV series for FX and Hulu. He's making a series
Buddy
based
Holly
on
is what?
Noah Hawley is making an Alien TV series for FX and Hulu. There's no release date announced just yet.
Like Alien Nation?
No, like Alien. It's going to be a TV series. Noah Hawley is the same
Ripley
guy.
Thing?
Yeah, so the same guy who did Legion is going to be the same guy who does this. So that's really exciting. I'm kind of excited for that. Also coming out is for those of you who have kids, Ice Age is getting a spin-off series starring Simon Pegg. So that's going to be a thing. It's going to be the title is Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild, and we'll star Simon Pegg as the voice of Buck. It's going to premiere early 2022. Now,
yeah, we've already met Buck. So this is okay.
Now, these are more technical announcements that I think you guys will definitely want to comment on. First off, Disney unveils Star. Its Hulu replacement for international Disney Plus subscribers. Disney unveiled Star, its international replacement for Hulu. But interestingly enough, we will also get the opportunity to get Star if you live in the United States through Disney Plus. The service is launching in certain European countries as well as here in the States. No release date yet for us, but Star has been unveiled as a way for Disney to release the movies that are PG-13 and R-rated under the Disney banner. So you'll have Disney Plus, but you'll also have Star. So
it's Disney's naughty channel.
Right, so you can lock out your kids from Star, and they can only watch Disney Plus, but you can get it through the Disney Plus app. Don't know when that's coming out for the States, but they said that will be coming out to the States soon. The second announcement they wanted to make is that Disney Plus is increasing its price to $8 a month starting in March 2021. Disney Plus is getting its
They got you, all of you.
first price hike in March 2021. The per month price will rise to $7.99 per month,
Price
a $1
hike.
increase. That's why I'm so happy I got it for 3 years. So
Right, that's the reason.
That's the reason. And then last but not least, Disney wanted to tout their numbers. Disney Plus surpasses 86 million subscribers as of December 2nd. The company reached the figure a little over a year after the service launched. So those are the biggest pieces of news that happened courtesy of Disney. A lot of things on the docket. And with over 50 some odd Marvel, Star Wars, Disney, and Pixar series and movies coming out in the next few years, their plate is pretty full. Considering, I think they're going all in on Disney Plus because we don't know where the theaters are going to be in the next year or two. So this is big, and this is something that they're going to have to compete with. Considering Warner Brothers made that big announcement last week on the show that we talked about, releasing all their movies to the HBO Max platform for all their movies as of 2021. So it's a big deal. So Disney Plus.
Isn't it interesting though that none of the theaters got upset about the Disney announcements?
Listen, I do know this.
Content that's going straight to Disney Plus that could have been movies, but you don't see them being upset with Disney.
Can I tell you this? Being
You are upset.
Can I tell you something? Who's been part of that business? If there's one studio that you don't want to piss off as a movie theater exhibitor,
it's the Italians.
It's Disney. So they don't want to say they don't want to say anything about Disney. So that it's just it's one of those unwritten rules that you don't talk about Disney as an exhibitor, because if they pull their stuff, you're screwed. So they don't say. That's why they don't say anything. So, but as of right now, there hasn't been anything that has been announced for theaters that's going to Disney Plus that's big at this point. They're still keeping Black Widow in the theaters. That has not yet moved. That has not yet moved to Disney Plus or anything, or with Premier Access.
It was a little interesting that they didn't really make it a big deal to say these things were coming out of theaters or not.
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't. I think we're
go out of their way to say this will be out in theaters and blah 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 blah. It's like
we're living in a whole new world, my friend. A whole new world, as Ariel would say. And I think without a doubt, that's what she'd say.
He sang it, but I don't want to hear.
Oh, not Ariel. Sorry, no, not her. What's her name? Beauty from Beauty and the Beast. Wow, thanks.
What? No, that's a completely different.
Oh no, that's the other movie with the couple. Oh, Aladdin, A Whole New World. That's it. Yeah, Princess Jasmine.
Oh, dude, that's it. Music, you dummy.
All right, that's it. Yeah, I forget. It's been a long time since I've seen these movies. Anyway,
aren't you like a renowned film critic that should know this stuff?
You would think so, but after this year, I've kind of given up. So, yeah.
You need to start watching them. You've got Disney Plus for the next 3 years.
Thank you, Todd Bernardi. Now, going around really quick to all of you, is there any series or movie that you're excited for or impressed with? And I'll start with Phormat.
Huh? What?
He's obviously
all right. We'll start with.
Andor.
No, I'm just kidding. Is there anything in that Disney Disney's announcements that you're excited for?
Not particularly. There are a few things that kind of like pique my interest, but not for the reason them being a movie.
Gotcha.
Like I really thought they would expound a bit more on the whole Chadwick Boseman thing and not replacing T'Challa, because I think that's fine that they're not going to replace T'Challa, but they've made no mention about replacing Black Panther.
It's true.
Which is a title and not a character.
It's not correct. 100%. 100% correct. Yeah, I'm with
but
you
the
on
fact that they didn't mention it was kind of like, okay, interesting. The Spider-Man news is interesting. I don't know, it's all interesting, but like Alika was saying earlier, like there's no real reason to like delve into it until they actually start making stuff. So,
good point.
I guess I'll just kick back and wait and see what comes out of all of this.
Well, listen, that's a good. We do have to see what comes out of this. But next person I'm going to go to find out if he's excited about anything other than Zootopia Plus, Alika. What are you excited about these announcements?
For the Marvel announcements, or just?
Oh no, just if you want to just say Zootopia Plus, that's
The
fine.
Cars movie, right? The Cars
thing
movie.
that you're excited about, just like
Listen, I can't believe there's a Zootopia Plus coming out. That's just it's so stupid. It's probably the stupidest thing I heard in a long time. All the Marvel stuff is like I am a consumer. Just give me the crap. I'll eat it. Manja. It's like I think the most exciting thing that I saw was the fact that there was so much of it. It's like, usually everybody's kind of like in damage control in 2021, and then you got 10 Marvel craps and 10 Disney craps and Star Wars craps, and they're all looking good, and you're like, how are they affording all of this? Are they make a deal with the devil or something? Like, what's going on? And maybe Satan is behind all of this because Zootopia Plus is coming out. So
Disney is hanging their hat on Zootopia Plus to make a profit.
Yeah,
I got it, Alika.
Like, I'm going to give you all the money to do 10 Marvel movies and 10 Star Wars movies, but you need to make Zootopia Plus.
I got it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Spread the gospel of white/bunny superiority.
First of all, not all bunnies are white. All right, let's get that straight.
No, but bunnies and all prey animals are allegories for white and European people. In that, in Zootopia.
He's talking about in Zootopia
because they've got long ears.
Yeah, I don't know if
because white people are the victims, obviously.
Yeah,
I like how you started that, Todd. You're like, it's because white people are.
What is this wee business?
Sorry, did I stutter? I meant we are definitely the victims here.
Oh, you mean the
yeah? Like when that big Black Panther came to his door in the tank top, and you're like, oh my goodness, I hope he doesn't hurt that innocent little bunny because, geez, they're not doing anything wrong. Why they would never do anything wrong, and. Like, seriously, Zootopia is the most evil crap I've ever seen in my life. I cannot believe there's another movie coming.
Alika and I don't agree on much, but I gotta tell you, man, Zootopia, he is right up. He is on point with Zootopia.
Like, rewatch that movie, and then remember that writer's room was all white people, and so they're like, so nobody in that room thought it was a bad idea. They're like, should we make the Panthers the black people? Yeah, that seems like a good way to go about it. Should the sheep and the bunnies, should they be the nice, innocent white people and Europeans who can feel? Yeah, that seems like a great idea. What could go wrong? Nobody will notice because they're animals. Nobody will know. Should we make the mice the Jews?
Holy hell.
Rewatch the movie.
Ron Cataguy is in the chat. Ron says, I'm waiting for this episode.
Shakira.
Thank you, Ron Cataguy. You're the best.
It's I always thought that it was an allegory for well, I don't want to go there. Never mind.
Don't go there. Anyway, next person I want to go to who's excited about other anything on that list. Gannon, was there anything exciting for you in the Marvel, Star Wars, or Pixar, Disney animation stuff that you're looking forward to?
I can tell you what I wasn't excited about.
What's that? Don't keep us in suspense.
I just did Indiana Jones 5.
Oh, Indiana! We didn't hear that. Indiana Jones 5? Oh, that's right. That was not even announced, was it?
Well, I mean, that's been going on, so that's not a new thing. And then they announced today Firefly reboot. I'm way not excited about that.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't think it needs a reboot.
If you're gonna bring Firefly back? I mean, bring back the original guys. But I try not to get too precious with this stuff. So if it looks promising by the time this actually happens, cool. But I don't know. I'm not really ready to see that be reimagined yet.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's not old enough, I don't think.
So much potential in the original in the first place.
Yeah,
it's 20 years old. What do you mean it's not old enough? We've had 3 Batmans and 3
I didn't say that.
Spider-Mans.
I didn't
It's
say that.
definitely old enough.
Yeah, no. Gannon didn't say that. I said it. I don't think it's old enough.
Oh.
I think we need to wait
And
another
I'm
10
talking to you, Greg.
I think we need to. I
They
think we need
waited
to wait
like
10
5
years.
minutes before they announced the new Spider-Man after Maguire.
Yeah.
Like, they literally waited 5 minutes. Be like, you know what? After Spider-Man 3, let's just hop on Andrew Garfield.
All right,
Yeah.
I like that idea. What about you there,
Yeah.
Toddy
More
B?
skateboarding Spider-Man.
I know you hate
No.
Marvel, but was there anything exciting that you thought that you would pique your interest?
I
That would
mean,
make you keep your subscription?
the Hawkeye
Oh.
television show. I'm probably cancel it again and then pay $8 for a month to binge watch all the Hawkeyes. Hawkeye and I think WandaVision is those 2 things I'm pretty excited about. I'm not really excited about any of the other Marvel properties or any of the other things that are going on. All that stuff's not going to come out for a while anyway.
I didn't realize you were a fan of Hawkeye.
Hawkeye's
That's
my favorite Avenger. Hawkeye is one of my favorite Marvel characters. Period.
All right.
Oh, neat.
Do you like which version? Do you like Hawkeye or do you like the Ronin version of Hawkeye?
They're both fine. I like them both.
All right. Don't sound too excited.
I like the purple costume Hawkeye. I like all the Hawkeyes. I mean, I think that it's cool to have a Archer in the Avengers.
Can I just say? Can I just say that we've had a breakthrough on this show tonight? Todd Bernardi actually likes something from Marvel. Can you believe that? I mean, I'm in shock.
I don't. I've said this over and over. It's not that I dislike Marvel specifically. If I have a particular grievance, it's really with Marvel fans that they usually are the ones that kind of rub me the wrong way. So.
Marvel fans, really? So what, Todd, dare I ask, what problem do you have with Alika?
No, listen, nobody should be eager to rub Todd the right way. So just let it be.
Just let me get rubbed. Let me get rubbed. That's all I want.
He can be happy with just getting rubbed the wrong way. That's all the rubbing he's getting.
It's fine. Usually there's no lube and it's
So is this like a counterclockwise thing? Or...
It's like wax on, wax off kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you find Marvel fans to be toxic or something?
More, I think, yeah. I mean, they're very brand loyal, and that brand loyalty gets in the way of them enjoying other things, and so I've decided to kind of wash my.
Is that a shock that people like what they like, Todd?
Well, if you're gonna like what you like, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not. I don't want to stop anybody from liking what they like.
First of all,
I don't want to criticize anybody. I mean, I'm never.
You kind of just
not criticize.
What they like.
I have to tell you something, Todd. I will not stand for you calling Alika a dirtbag on this show.
Whoa, that didn't even happen.
What? That's what I thought I heard. Because he's a Marvel fan, I will not let him disparage.
If anybody's calling anybody a dirtbag, it's me calling Todd a dirtbag. So
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's usually a trash bag. He's usually calling me trash.
The last thing I need in my life is G Money defending me.
That's fair. That is also fair.
I mean, but as human shields go, you could do worse.
You could do worse. That is very true.
He wouldn't be a willing participant.
Yeah.
That is also true.
I don't need him coming to my defense.
No, but Alika likes everything. Alika's not going to let it, just because he's a fan of Marvel doesn't mean he's going to be like, oh well, I hate the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Don't you? I knew you were going to say that. You just rewind and unsay that, Todd. Just unsay that.
Unsay it.
I take it all back.
Wow.
I mean, or I mean, I think that a lot of people really get all over DC, mainly because they're just addicted to the Marvel identity or brand of comics.
It's weird, because to some people there's no difference, and I can completely see that point of view. There's not a lot of difference between Marvel and DC, and then there's the people on both sides of Marvel and DC who see very, very stark contrast between the both of them, and those people are loyal to one or the other because of it. The thing is, I love comics so much that I can see it. I can see it from both sides. I can see the Alan, or who was the famous writer who said, "I see no difference between the two." Is like somebody recently said that.
Jambalaya Jones.
No, it was
Right.
it was the guy that
The guy.
Chaos Theory, Jurassic Park. What's his Goldblum? Goldblum said that. Somebody was like, "What about Marvel?"
Oh yeah,
and DC?"
Goldblum.
And he goes, "Aren't they the same thing?" And some people, I can see where they say that. It's caped with superheroes. It's a multiverse. It's multiple timelines. And so there's so many similarities between Disney and DC and Marvel. And then there are ways in which they're very different too. The way they focus their stories, the kind of stories they want to tell between them. And so there are also distinct differences. Hey, James Silvani's in the chat. Oh, you got to let that dude in, bro. He's probably got something good to say. But all I'm saying is, like, there's comics at large, and I think everybody's entitled to like what they like. I think Todd's a douchebag.
Yeah. I mean,
James
important.
Silvani is not in the chat. That is Gannon. And Gannon has.
He wrote his name as James Silvani. That's messed up.
Yeah.
So we can't hear you. I don't know why that is.
Yeah, Gannon, you're froze up. I don't hear
we don't hear anything. But you're not muted or anything. You should be good. Your mic is.
Yep.
Yeah. Better.
I heard that.
Better. Much better.
Jeff Goldblum like 100 times before they got to it.
Jeff Goldblum.
Well, listen, gents. Yes, go ahead, Todd, before we go.
Oh, I was just gonna say I would never. I'm not trying to criticize people for what they like. I just think that my distaste for Marvel is just because I'm not blindly going to enjoy.
Well, it just sounds like you're just calling people that don't think what you think morons. So
no, they're sheep. That's what I'm.
That's a super.
Wow.
that makes you so relatable as a person, Todd.
You're such an elitist prick.
That's.
Can we talk about the fact that I hate watched 2 shows into cancellation now?
Well, here's the thing. Before I move into that, I wanted to get Kai in really quick. Kai, anything you want to say before we move on to our next subject?
Crunchyroll got bought out. That's pretty much it. By Sony.
Well, I was gonna say that was also a big announcement. I was gonna say for later, but since you did it, yes. Crunchyroll got bought out by Funimation for like $1.7 billion. So if you're an anime fan,
it was worth.
Yeah, half of what they were worth. It's pretty exciting. Yeah, so if you're a fan of animation, just know Crunchyroll still will exist, but under the Funimation.
Oh no, not much longer. Not much longer. Sony ain't gonna have 2 streaming services. They're gonna shove everything to one and then not care about anything.
I agree 100%.
I know Sony. It's already gonna happen. And then,
all right, now
maybe we can get Spider-Man in the new Spider-Man movie now.
I would love that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for a new segment of the program starring our very own Dr. Freaky Daddy Leaky. It's Alika Hate Watch. Now, Alika, let me preface this little segment by saying this. I have to say that every time Alika ends up watching something and likes it, it ends up getting canceled. So
that's not true.
Let's see what he's watched what he has hate watched, and if it's gonna get canceled. Alika, take it away.
Well, the only things I hate watched were things that got canceled. That's my point. Is I hate watched October Faction and that got canceled.
Yeah.
And then I hate watched Hellstrom and that got canceled. So
Thundercats Roar.
Thundercats Roar. That got canceled.
Yeah, I did. I unironically love watch that, and it got canceled. So I'm sad about that.
Okay.
But if anybody hasn't been watching,
bless you.
Small Axe on Amazon Prime. That series of movies. It's they're actually standalone movies, but they're done as a series.
They are standalone movies, but they're done as a series. That's correct.
There's 4 of them so far,
Yeah.
and they're excellent. It's about the windfall generation and beyond in the West Indies and Jamaican population that fled to Britain in the 60s and 70s during political turmoil, and they're just incredibly well done and well acted, and there's a diversity of stories. It's not following one common thread.
John Boyega stars in one of the movies. It's actually put together by film director Steve McQueen.
So that's the most recent. The 4th episode was John Boyega, and that story was much more coherent. It had more of a point. The first and the 4th episode so far have these stronger plot threads that go through it. But it was either the second or third movie where it's just about Lovers Rock, where it's actually just a house party in Brixton in the early 80s, late 70s, sometime like that, where it just basically is an hour and a half of you at a house party in this neighborhood. And it was actually one of the better things I watched, because we're inside, we don't go to parties, we don't socialize, and it was just such a well filmed movie that you felt like you were at the party and socializing, and the way they did it, and yeah, it was great. So I highly recommend Small Axe. That's
all right. Small Axe. So what else have you, other than Hellstrom, which got canceled? Anything else you watched?
I'm not hate watching this stuff. You still have that banner down there.
Oh, sorry, you don't like that?
I've also been watching comic documentaries on Amazon Prime, the free ones. So I wanted to watch Feels Good Man, but you have to pay to watch that. So
did you watch the Chris Claremont one like I told you to?
What the hell was that?
Did you watch the Chris Claremont one like I told you to? That was on Amazon Prime?
I didn't check if that one was free yet. Okay. But the other one I watched The Illumination of Jim Woodring. I watched it was about this futuristic now I can't remember the guy's name, but he did a strip of What's to Come or something like that, or he was a futurist from the 40s and 50s, and a talented artist, and now I can't even remember the guy's name, but Radabaugh was the guy's name. And then I also watched Boiled Angels, the documentary about Mark Diana.
You told us that last week. You said that's an excellent doc.
That's excellent. He was the only American artist to ever be convicted for obscenity. The only American artist.
I watched that one too.
Yeah, not just American comic book artist, but American artist ever to be convicted of obscenity. And you can just see what a miscarriage of justice the American courts are open to. Like, I've spoken to lawyers, and they tell me that it's like when you walk into a court, the expectation is justice, but that's rarely the outcome. And so this documentary shines a huge light on that.
Well, I've heard this from lawyers themselves. Justice is not an outcome; it's a process. So it's one of those things. A lot of people the misnomer is, and yeah, I got to see this doc. I'm really interested in seeing the doc for sure.
Yeah, Boiled Angels. Boiled Angels is the name of the doc, which is the name of the zine that got him the obscenity charge.
Interesting, crazy. Now, anything else, Alika, before I move on?
Oh, I rewatched Legion. That was excellent. I'm now starting to rewatch Breacher, which is excellent. So, yeah, I think that's about where I'm at.
Nice. Gannon, according to your feed, there was a lot of things that you were watching this past week or so. What have you been keeping up with, and what have you enjoyed, and what have you not enjoyed? Give us the best of the worst.
And he's not there anymore.
God dang it, Gannon.
I'm right here. What the hell?
Oh, I don't know.
Excellent, Gannon. Well, thank you.
No.
Hey, did you guys go over this week's Mandalorian?
Not yet.
No,
yeah, we did already. Yeah, it's a shame you missed it.
Alika.
Mayfield!
What we're gonna do is we're gonna save because James Silvani's gonna be on next week. We're gonna save Mandalorian for next week, both for 2 episodes. Yeah, we're gonna save.
I don't get to talk about Mayfield. I want to expound on
No, you can. We're going to talk about it next week when James Silvani's here. We're going to make that the focus. There was so much stuff coming out that we're going to have him on next week. Anyway, Gannon, please go ahead.
What?
Anything you watched, enjoyed, or anything?
I watched the new Francis Ford Coppola cut of Godfather 3.
And
He still has no business putting his daughter in movies back then.
all right, that's fair. But how was the movie overall?
It's funny. I watched the original one so long ago. I don't even remember what the original one was like.
Right.
But just based purely on this cut alone, like I was a little bit more engaged with the story. So, again, I cannot voice anything about the differences. But he does an introduction where he spells out a few of them, and it opens differently. I think it has a slightly different ending, and then certain things are restructured and reorganized scene-wise. But again, having not watched the original for so long, I don't even remember what's been changed. But it's not bad. It's not going to be better than Godfather 2 or the original one, but it's probably stronger for it.
Good. What else did you watch that you enjoyed?
What else did I watch that I enjoyed?
Can I? You watched Tenet?
Oh, Tenet. I finally watched Tenet.
And
the movie that COVID be damned. Christopher Nolan wants you in the theaters.
damn right. COVID be damned. Okay, and was it good? Hello. Was it good?
I mean, it's. I gotta watch it a couple more times to really grasp what the hell was going on in the movie, because he likes his complex storytelling, and he likes to flirt with the kind of big budget stuff we see in other movies, but trying to come at it in a highbrow kind of a way. Like I said earlier before we started the show, it's funny watching a movie that's technically about time travel, but they're trying to dance around not saying it's time travel.
Right.
Like they're trying to make it so much more complex than just saying time travel that to wrap your head around it, it's complex the way it's structured. But it's a good movie. I mean, it's definitely well acted. It's a gorgeous looking film. I can see why he wants people to see it in the theaters. Was it Isaiah Washington? Is that his name?
Yeah. No. It's Isaiah. No. It's Isaiah. John something Washington. Yeah. I can't remember.
Wilkes. John Wilkes Washington.
Jonathan Taylor Washington.
And you can actually see a lot of Denzel.
No, that's Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
No. Okay. All right, everybody shut up. His name is John David Washington. It is Denzel Washington's son. All right, go ahead.
It is?
Yes, that's Denzel Washington's son. Yes.
Oh, good for him.
Yes. All right. So I wanted to know, Gannon, was it worth your time, or did you enjoy it, or do you think that it was something that you think that it was an important film that he was suggesting for us to watch? Where did he go? Where did freaking Gannon go? Did he get lost again? Where the frick is he?
We lost him into the ether.
Oh no! Anyway,
he's been affected by the veil of the Force.
I know. All right. Anyway, yeah. So John David Washington Tenet. I guess we lost. Damn it, we lost him. Anyway, I wanted to see it. I wanted to know what he thought about it because I want to see it myself. I'm very excited to watch the damn movie. So yeah. Anyway, I guess we lost freaking Gannon. What the hell happened to him? Maybe he'll come back in. Anyway, moving on. Todd Bernardi, have you been watching anything? Because you said you didn't read much of anything. Have you been watching anything?
Why are you talking to me?
That's why I said that's your name, Todd. Yes.
Okay. I watched The Wolf Walker. I watched that was a fun movie. And then I watched I got caught up on Mandalorian.
We talking about next week, by the way.
Right. And and I think and that's kind of it, I mean, I'm really, watching a lot of Bob's Burgers and stuff like that.
Nice. Because you mean that's your jam right there.
Yeah.
Is your jam. Nice. Well, I have been doing very little watching. I got a chance of before I get started. Kai, did you get to watch anything?
No, I didn't get to watch anything wherever you're watching, except for Mando, and that's it.
Mandalorian. Like I said, we'll be talking about that next week with James Savani, who will be joining us on the program, which would be very cool.
Does he know this?
No, he did. James Savani knows this. He definitely knows this.
Okay. All right.
All right, now.
We assume he knows it.
Of course, there's a couple other things that we got to talk about. Number one, it is, ironically enough, it's Oscar season, and you would think that there would be no Oscars, but of course, there are still Oscars. There's Oscar season, and of course, as film critics, myself and Phormat are getting a lot of new material to take a look at. One of the things that I took a look at was the new movie with Carey Mulligan in it called "Promising Young Woman." I got an opportunity to see that finally, it's that was an interesting film. When it finally comes out straight to video or whatever, or to video on demand, take a look at it. It's an interesting concept. Don't think it was really successful in all it wanted to do, but there were some very good things that were very strong in that movie, I thought. So I thought there were some very strong points in the film. Not everything was great, but there were some very strong performances that I liked. So, yeah, and Carey Mulligan was pretty darn good in it. So, yeah, I've been watching that, trying to keep up with that. And then there isn't. So if I know that's coming out to theaters, and I think it's coming out to VOD pretty soon. But yeah, in the next couple of weeks, there should be a lot more movies and things that we're gonna myself and Phormat and Professor Barry will be watching because of Oscar season. Because we're getting the opportunity to see some things that we didn't get to watch during the year. So we can definitely look forward to that, which would be very cool. So yeah. Also, in some other big news. Now we got our Blu-rays coming up very shortly here, and of course, am I missing anything, Kai? Before I get into gaming, that I want to talk about? Am I missing anything?
No.
Other than Tom Cruise's tirade on the set of Mission Impossible 7, which is for the ages. You should definitely look that up online. By the way, I would play it here.
7.
Yeah, Mission Impossible 7.
Okay, wait. We're gonna talk about gaming. Let me pour myself an eggnog because this is gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, I listened to that Tom Cruise audio. He sounds like me ranting about Zootopia.
You know what's funny is that I don't know if should I play it. I mean, it is pretty graphic, but I wonder if I should play it.
He swears in it. I thought we get in trouble for swearing, but you're going to let Tom Cruise swear on the podcast?
Well, it is Tom Cruise.
Yeah, he's like a level something scientist.
He's a level 13 mage. Is that what?
Right? Yeah.
Isn't that how it works?
Yeah. So I mean, I can definitely. If you guys did not have a chance to hear it, I guess I could play it. I'm going to have to put a parental warning on it, I guess. So, there was.
Want to play it? Can you mix it like a DJ with Christian Bale's rant?
All right.
Get out of the shot.
Well, you know what? It is. According to the news, what happened is the Hollywood megastar Tom Cruise has worked tirelessly behind the scenes to enforce tight social distancing rules during the filming taking place in Britain. And he flew into a rage after spotting two of the crew standing within 2 meters of each other. An audio tape captured Cruise shouting some very explicit words, and 50 members of the staff in Warner Brothers Studios in Lewiston were left stunned by the angry outburst.
You know what I don't like about this article, by the way, is the fact that we're reading it in America and we still have to convert from meters. That's, Money, you of all people shouldn't be standing for that. You should be like, this is America.
It's true. It is America. To be honest with you, I think we should definitely be part of the metric system, but we're not. Which is
thank you. That's
I'm with. I think the matrix system actually makes sense.
You know what's messed up is, as an engineer, I constantly have to do metric to English conversions, and I just do it as a matter of fact. Like I enjoy it. Like Like I do my part to support the English system, so you guys need to step it up. You need to, and they call it the English system. They don't even use it in England. All right, that's over.
It's true. It's called.
But how do you feel about Zootopia?
There's metric, and then there's the metric system, which is used in the rest of the world, and here we use imperial. So yeah,
We're
But,
America.
It's also referred to as English SI units.
yeah, exactly.
So
But you know what? I really want to play this audio because you can hear Tom Cruise going off. But I think I'm going to save it. You guys can check it out at thesun.co.uk and look for the Tom Cruise story. Just Google
do you guys
Tom
want to?
Cruise.
Do you want to hear me yell at Todd?
Yeah.
Can you?
That's
He really goes off.
Please.
Tom Cruise, justifiably so, was upset because he really understood the fact that people are losing their, in the rant that he said was people are losing their homes, their livelihoods, putting food on the table. He said they're trying to be the gold standard when it comes to doing production in 2020 and moving on. So he wants to be the gold standard for that. And he's trying to set a precedent so they can continue working and not be shut down. He doesn't want to shut this movie down again. He's a producer on it. He probably doesn't want to lose more money on it either. So he understands.
Yeah,
so,
I don't think anything he said in the rant is untrue. I think he's yelling. People don't like to be yelled at, so I think that. But the fact is that like a lot of people's livelihoods and jobs or potential jobs that could be coming up in the future too. I mean, he makes that point in the rant that it's all resting on how they run the production and how safe they can be and how successful the production can be. A lot's riding on it. So he's right to re-impress that upon the crew that he depends on to make that happen. I mean, it's a shame that it had to get to a point where he felt he had to check them in that manner, meaning that some people on the crew were probably not taking it as seriously as they should have. But, hopefully.
I mean, nothing in the rant, in my opinion, he said was, why I say that is because that could be applied everywhere. The fact is that we can just do that way, we can avoid the shutdowns, we can avoid going pooping for 2 weeks, just like we did in Maui with the bars.
The thing is, I agree with you, except for, and I'm not saying it's wrong because he speaks the language of money, but his main focus was on ensuring it's safe so that commerce can commence. He didn't really mention ensuring that it was safe for humanity's benefit because people deserve to live and be healthy. So it wasn't the truly altruistic and selfless thing.
Hey, he doesn't want to lose money. I can respect that.
He was hinging all of that on commerce and economics and stuff like that. But
I hear that there are business people that run restaurants that feel the same freaking way. You know what I mean?
I think, everybody feels that way in any industry, especially non-essential work. That people want to get back to work, and people are suffering financially, and so that is a valid form of having to care for humanity and their well-being. But at the same time, health is the number one concern of any living being. If you don't have your health, that's an important thing to have.
Yeah, it's interesting as far as Tom Cruise goes, and for him to do that and to put himself out there and do that. I mean, I'm sure that this wasn't supposed to come out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure that this.
It doesn't seem like it's detrimental to Tom Cruise per se. Like
no,
I think it might be a nice PR stunt. Like, show him how passionate I am yelling at these lowly coffee guys or whatever.
Well, Tom Cruise, of course, voicing his opinion. A lot of money riding on Mission Impossible 7. He doesn't want to shut down again because they shut down the production several times already. So we'll see where it goes. Hopefully, we'll see.
Have they shut down this production multiple times already?
Yeah, Mission Impossible has shut down quite a few times. So yeah, that is.
Let me reframe that again then, because I didn't know that. That also kind of makes him selfish for keep restarting the damn production, because apparently people are getting sick on it and he keeps wanting to get them to work, but he can't like it's
not him. It's the UK. they keep shutting down these areas.
Man.
Oh,
So-
it
These
wasn't,
evil UKs.
Yeah, it's the
wasn't
UK.
the production getting shut down because of COVID.
Correct,
occurrences?
right. It was the
shut
country.
down by the UK just because
Correct.
of their restrictions. Okay,
Correct.
all right,
Yeah,
never
yeah, that's
mind. They take it back. No, I mean that matters. That matters. If it was getting shut down because people kept getting COVID on set, then I would say Tom Cruise, you're not really being right now. But the fact that it was being shut down through no fault of their own because UK kept putting restrictions in place, and it's the onus is on them to prove that these sets are safe, then he's fully justified in what he said. You know.
Right, for sure. Now, moving on from Tom Cruise and the Mission Impossible 7, there is some, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but of course, the biggest gaming news that came out last week was the release of Cyberpunk 2077. And let me tell you something, boys and girls, it is one of the...
broken.
Yeah,
Okay.
there is so true.
Okay, there's two sides to the story. Now that we see the PC side of it, where it's it shows at least a decent amount of the game, where it maybe a little stuff here and there, but the Xbox and the PlayStation 4, when they announced this game, it said it was going to be for these two systems.
Yes, they did.
This game was a complete failure on their part of that.
Yeah,
Yep.
I agree.
And the fact is that now they come out saying that this game probably not going to be technically finished until February. So what we're having right now is what happened to No Man's Sky. And bear in mind, No Man's Sky now is amazing because I played it.
It's a gorgeous
Because they
game.
fixed all the bugs. So that's the game that we were promised to begin with. But it took 3 years. 3 years for that game to get to where it was. This might be a bigger fail on anything. And I don't blame CD Projekt Red. But they should have been more transparent about this when they were coming out. This was a rush job. And they were just trying to buy off time as much as possible to get this game through, which had also gaming journalists, and I don't respect any of those journalists because some of them are probably trash, just constantly hounding them for all these different things.
Right.
But we're going to see, hopefully in February, they live up to the stuff, because I will give them one credit. The fact that if you can't get your refund through Xbox or the PlayStation through their digital, because most of them ever bought the game through digital, not many people got the hard copy yet.
Right.
They will go. You can go to their website and you can get the refund through them. So I will give them props on that.
Well, that's good. That's excellent. So, anywho, so Cyberpunk 2077 having some big problems as we speak. Really big problems, and especially for the Xbox and PS4. Not the mid console versions, but the original versions are having some very big problems. Xbox One original and of course the PS4 original are having some huge problems with Cyberpunk 2077. And this game was announced for the last generation of consoles. So for this to happen, it runs pretty smoothly on. I mean, and it's still full of bugs, but it runs better on PC and it actually runs better on the new consoles. This generation, the PS.
I have confirmed that from people who has the new consoles. PS5 is running pretty damn smoothly, just a little glitches here and there. Why Xbox is still a little buggy on its best, but.
No, so I have it. Xbox Series X is running Cyberpunk very well, 60 frames per second or 30 frames per second, depending on if you want performance mode or quality mode. So that is so that game unfortunately has the release and the way it's been released has caused CD Projekt Red to issue a statement telling everybody they can ask for refunds. They've also had to issue a statement saying that we're going to be fixing it in the near future. In January and February, they're going to be 2 big patches. So this is a big deal.
I heard about Cyberpunk 2077 being released on NPR. They had a story about how big the game was supposed to be.
It was
on the morning news.
8 million pre-orders. Not only 8 million pre-orders, but also there was a lot riding on it because they delayed it so often that they needed to get it out before the end of the quarter so that they could make a profit. Because if they waited any longer, they were going to lose.
They're
They were
losing
going to
out right now.
out right now because their stock's gone down like 29%. So
They're losing out right now. Honestly, gamers, we're patient people. Believe me.
No,
If you
you're
were
not.
transparent, yeah, you are.
we
Yeah, we
really
are.
are, because you know what they could have done.
Look, Todd. The fact is that if you rush out a game like what happened with Cyberpunk and it wasn't what it was supposed to be, we would trash the shit out of you. Dude, we are ruthless.
They were you guys were trashing it before it came out.
No.
Because
No,
it was it had been delayed for
Todd,
it's been delayed for time.
Todd, don't follow the dumb people. The real gamers, we're patient. If you bring us a good game, we will respect the hell out of it. It's just the fact that we need to be transparent about this.
If they had said to us, listen, if they had said in April when they had delayed it to September and then to November and then to September, then to December, if they had just said in April, we need a whole other year to do this, and had been straight up with everybody, I think everybody would have been very disappointed. But I think we would have understood at that point.
Yeah.
But
I don't know about that. I don't.
Yeah.
That doesn't strike me as.
I would rather a game take
the
longer and come back perfect than get rushed out and then we have to wait for updates.
Right.
And
Right.
patches.
And see, exactly.
That's
God,
the biggest gripe I have for most games nowadays is the day one patch.
Yep.
That means your game was not ready to go.
No,
that's 100% true. And I gotta say, at 27, Cyberpunk 2077 is the reason why it was such a big game is because of their last game, which is Witcher 3, which of course also suffered from some very very bad bugs when it first released back in 2000. But the thing is that they fixed it. It became a better game, but it was a much better game at launch than Cyberpunk 2077 is now. From what I have played it. Now I have to tell you something. I have experienced very few bugs. I've only experienced a couple bugs. They've released a couple patches already, and so far so good. The story is a little slow. I'm maybe about 5 or 6 hours in, give or take, and it's moving a little slow. Haven't had a lot of action yet. They're trying to build a world for me, but it's taking a little while to get there. So as soon as I get through more of this, I will let you guys know. Cyberpunk 2077. I would say at this point, I do not recommend if you have an Xbox One or a PS4, maybe an Xbox One X or a PS4 Pro. Possibly, but I would just suggest just waiting at this point. Just hang on, wait a couple months. If you haven't gotten it or pre-ordered it yet, don't bother. Just hang on and wait. So
I would recommend this is a wait kind of thing. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, because I was very hyped for the game as well. And like I said, I'm a very patient gamer. I can wait because there's a ton of crap to play already. Yeah. There's just so much stuff to play at this point. So
can we talk about the show, the bonfire show of the Video Game Awards?
Well, the Game Awards were this past weekend as well, and of course hosted by Jeff Keighley. The Game Awards, I'm sure that Phormat has a lot to say about the Game Awards.
I don't really, other than the whole entire show was garbage.
The whole entire show, and to be fair,
it was a 2-hour commercial for The Last of Us 2.
It was absolutely that 100%. Gamers resoundingly chose Ghost of Tsushima over Last of Us 2. The only award that I think Last of Us 2 definitely won was the accessibility award, and I thought what they did with the accessibility,
rightly so.
Unprecedented, unfreaking precedented.
But everything else did not deserve it. Absolutely not.
I agree 100%. So, and that they
should have gone to Tsushima, if not Hades.
I'm wondering when the deciding votes were cast. Because Fall Guys won.
Okay, so this is what I
Fall
hear.
Guys? Over Among Us?
Yeah. Okay, so this is what I found out. So 10% of all the audience or normal gamers who voted was counted for. Only 10. They only take 10. Everything else was critics. So 90% is all critics.
Boo, critics, boo.
To be honest, though, the Game Awards, I mean, as far as the awards go, we don't have to really talk about the awards because that's neither here nor there. But there were a couple of interesting announcements during the Game Awards, I thought. As far as games go. Well, yeah. Which one?
Can we play some of the trailers from there?
No, not at this time. But
I was pretty stoked to see we're going back to Mass Effect.
Yes.
Mass Effect is going back. Yep, that is very true. We're also going back to Perfect Dark, if you can believe that.
That was a surprise.
Yeah.
I was like, Perfect Dark? What?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it was
Super
great on the
Smash Brothers.
PlayStation, but that was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Super Smash Brothers introduced Sephiroth into its game.
What an intro.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
also,
Masamune through the Mario. Oh my god.
That was amazing.
I was like, oh.
I want that.
Also, the Left 4 Dead pseudo sequel Back 4 Blood looks really good. So
is
the guy
it a
Turtle
sequel,
Rock,
or is it like one of those
it's
sequel in the vein of
spiritual successor? They call it.
Successor. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at it and I was like, this feels like Left 4 Dead. And then the next trailer happened, and I was like, this feels like Left 4 Dead from a different perspective.
Right. Yeah. There was also, if you can believe it, there was also a game starring Vin Diesel again called Arc 2. If you can believe Arc 2 was a thing.
We should talk about Arc game.
I kept waiting for him to be like, oh, family.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should talk about the fact that Arc is getting an animated series.
Arc is getting an animated series as well. The next Dragon Age is
Vin Diesel isn't in it.
The next Dragon Age sequel is going to be coming out. There is also a game that I have to tell you really piqued my interest. It's from Hazelight, the guys who did A Way Out. There is a relationship game, a co-op game called It Takes Two. I was incredibly impressed. It Takes Two, and I got to tell you something. It looks incredible. I think It Takes Two could be
that's the raw-based DJ Easy Rock video game.
No, not. It's a relationship game. That's what I like. And so that looks really, really cool. And then there is a new game from Flying Wild Hog and Focus Home Entertainment called Evil West. It's a Red Dead Redemption 2 like in the dark fantasy vein. So that got announced as well. And so there were some big announcements during the Game Awards. The Game Awards themselves, the awards not so much. It's more of a showcase of what we're going to be seeing in the near future. So that was interesting too. So just know, in the hearts and minds of most gamers that have played it, Ghost of Tsushima was probably the game of the year, not Last of Us 2. So that's something to keep in mind. All right? Yeah, for sure. Anyway, boys and girls, we do know that coming up here in just a moment, we got some Blu-ray releases that I want to talk to you guys about, and new releases that you guys can watch that are currently available as of now. I do know that because of World of Warcraft, our very own Phormat has become well rested. So that's very exciting. And now he gets to watch these movies that he's going to have to, all these screeners he's going to have to watch as a critic. So maybe he's going to have more time on his hands because he's well rested and he's got putting so much effort into WoW. Well, boys and girls, getting into some Blu-ray releases for the week. It is the week of the 15th or the 14th, and of course, releasing today on the hardest of medias. Number one, let's see here. Why is this thing taking so long to load? Boom. There it is. Got it. All right. Coming out today, of course, is the new 4K version of Tremors, courtesy of Arrow Video, is out today on 4K. That looks really, really exciting. Also, coming out today is the Expanse season 4, which looks really good, and also
hey, dude, look up on your screen for a little bit.
what? Oh, lovely. Thanks. That also coming out today, because there isn't very much. The last thing that came out today on Blu-ray and 4K, of course, is Tenet. Christopher Nolan's Tenet is out on Blu-ray and 4K. You can check that out right now with John David Washington and Robert Pattinson. The Tenet, the film about time inversion. Which I hope Gannon, I guess Gannon lost connection. I hope we were able to talk to him afterward or next time. So anyway, that about does it for Blu-ray releases for this week. There won't be very many Blu-rays and 4K releases because it is the Christmas season regardless. So yeah, we'll get a couple more next week, but nothing super major. But yeah, something to look forward to, hopefully. Anyway, boys and girls, we have had a jam-packed show, if you can believe it. Jam-packed show. Before we take off, anything that anybody would like to add before we get out of here? There's a lot of announcements. Anything anybody want to interject before we say goodbye to everyone?
Netflix is getting a live-action Yu Yu Hakusho.
What?
Yeah, I'm hella stoked.
Man,
I'm just hoping
worried.
they start at the Dark Tournament and they don't do the Psychic Detectives thing.
Wow.
I'm worried, but let's see. Because remember, this is the same company that gave us Death Note. So I'm already worried.
Well, you know what? If it's as good as Death Note, we have something to look forward to.
Hell, I'm worried that how they're gonna make the One Piece TV, the live action version.
Now, before we do get out of here, honestly, Alika, did we have any comic books this week that we might have missed?
I mean, there's a lot of hot comic books that are coming out. I think one of the more newsworthy ones was one that I didn't even order. They kind of just snuck into my order. If you guys have seen the articles about Solid Blood number 17. So it's supposedly like this shipment of Image comics that were dropped off from an alternate dimension or something, because Robert Kirkman's writing them and Ryan Otley's drawing it, and it's a series called Solid Blood, and it's issue 17. It's got the old 90s eye logo, but the weird thing about that is Ryan Otley's under contract at Marvel right now, and he's actually pretty busy, so we don't. Kirkman and Otley are both denying involvement, even though it says Kirkman and Otley on the cover. And Robert Kirkman released a video, kind of just, it could just all be kayfabe, where they're like pretending to deny it, and they really did it. And yeah, I don't know, Todd, if you know anything more, but I think everybody's just as baffled.
I don't know anything about it. I think that probably Image is maybe trying to take a page out of Bad Ideas playbook a little bit, and they're doing some,
maybe
they're going the button
stream than Ryan Otley and Robert Kirkman,
Yeah, but I would really like that. I want that book. That would be really great if I could get a copy. I hope you get more than one.
Yeah, since I didn't order it, I can't control how many I get, but I am getting more than one. But just for anybody watching this, that the rest are spoken for already. I apologize, but
it sounds like Todd wants to grease your palm, Alika.
Well,
not to the tune of a Bad Idea comic.
Yeah, he's got the wrong part of my body if he wants that.
What the hell am I listening to?
No, I'm just they didn't send me that many, so I don't have any control over that because it wasn't a book we ordered. But if you're gonna mention taking a page out of Bad Idea comics, which snuck the hero trade into comic stores earlier this year,
yes, sir.
Actually they're just taking a page out of their own Image book, because they did that. They sent us non-ordered copies of secret titles before. I'm trying to think of what recent books they've done that with, but they've
Did they do it?
Huh?
Did they do it with Firepower?
Maybe Firepower, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, the trades we didn't order; they just sent those to us. So those were the trade paperbacks.
Yeah.
There was another book that was a secret drop. I'm trying to think. They've done it. Image has done that before, where they don't tell you what the book is and they just give it to you without you ordering any, and you kind of hit the ground running with it, which is interesting for but it sucks when it's a book that people are really anticipating. So like Solid Blood 17. I wish I would have ordered like a bunch of those, but
yeah,
I only have so many coming in. But that was
so you can
you
give me 2 copies though, right?
I don't have enough.
You're pushing it. Well,
I know I'm pushing it for 1.
Alika, can next week we'll have a comic book list, or
yeah, next week the shipment, because I have the shipment held this week anyways, so I'll just read both lists next week. The only thing I probably will get this week is DC Comics, and I'm gonna talk about DC Comics a little bit just because our friends at Enjoy Comics, who just also Frank Cho had his appearance over at Enjoy Comics in Hilo.
Nice.
Really had a good time over there. If you guys are following their social, but Enjoy Comics doesn't carry DC Comics anymore because we've gone over this debacle many times. What's been going on? DC broke off from Diamond. You have to have a secondary distributor to carry DC Comics. I am currently jumping through those hoops. Mike Sato decided it wasn't worth how much it costs and the expense and the trouble to do it anymore. So he got rid of DC Comics, and I totally understand, because it's not like I'm holding on to DC Comics because it's an easy thing to do or that we have a lot of customers that are like knocking down our door. Like Batman is not even that great a seller anymore. It does sell, but I don't sell as many as that used to be the number one book that I kind of gauge DC sales on how good the main Batman sells, and it doesn't really sell that great right now. There are 2 subscribers right now that are basically propping up DC and helping me make the minimum order, because they instated minimum orders now for us because our orders were dropping so severely. It doesn't make sense to carry a lot of DC wall books anymore. Like I don't have too many on the rack. With this Future State, that was actually kind of like the one hopeful thing that I was kind of limping along to see, because Future State is going to have a lot of interesting alternative versions of characters like Yara Flor, the new Wonder Woman. People are excited for her. There's so many more that I'm not. Well, and another viral sensation is Tim Fox, Lucius Fox's son, is the new Batman, Black Batman. And so there's a lot about Future State that people are excited for, and that I actually upped my order for Future State because I feel like people are going to enjoy that, but it's only lasting 2 months, and then they're done with it. It's like that was Dan DiDio's baby, and then they got rid of Dan DiDio and kind of chopped him off at the knees with Future State and got rid of it. To be honest, it seems like one of the more promising things they had going on, and they should have stuck it out for longer. I think people would have been interested to see that.
Well, speaking of DC, on the same subject, just before I forget, broaching it at the end of the show, Wonder Woman 1984 early reviews are coming out now, and it looks like they're coming in a bit mixed. There are some guys that like it. There are some reviewers that like it, some that don't. We'll know here in about 10 days if Wonder Woman 1984 hits the mark.
I can almost be willing to wager that Joseph Epstein is one of the negative reviewers. He doesn't like her being referred to Wonder Woman. He's like, shouldn't she be like Wonder Girl? Try to demean her a little further.
Wow. Well, what's funny is that I'm looking forward to it. We'll find out in 10 days. If you got to get HBO Max, you're going to have to get it in order to watch it. And the reviews are still. Yeah, the reviews are coming out for it.
I've heard nothing but good reviews. I mean, you follow some really incel type websites, so I'm not surprised you hear that.
Incel mouth.
Mainstream society
Right. Mainstream society. That's mainstream. Also, before we leave, too, a last piece of gaming news that I thought was relevant. We don't talk about it often, but interestingly enough, there was a big controversy a few days ago concerning a young streamer named Roddy Rogan, who plays Call of Duty. And Roddy Rogan is a 6-year-old boy who's a virtuoso at playing Call of Duty Warzone. Last week, he was apparently his parents said that he was banned from Twitch from playing Call of Duty. Come to find out yesterday or the day before yesterday that it was all a ruse for him to become part of a new esports clan. So a lot of people are really pissed off at the parents for letting the 6-year-old do this fake baloney banning, and people are kind of upset about it. So just a little something for all you gamers that are watching on Twitch. Just know that Roddy Rogan is exactly. I mean, they don't have any problem with the kid. They have more problem with the parents and how they treated this. You know, they tried to turn it into a viral thing and it ended up backfiring on them. But the kid's apparently part of the Face Clan now, so it'll be interesting. But anyway,
picked them up.
Yeah, Face picked them up.
Oh man.
The contest was if you do a viral video, Face Clan will pick you up. They picked up the 6-year-old kid. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, look up just hashtag Roddy Rogan. You'll see. You'll see. Don't you worry. Anyway, we are out of time, boys and girls. Todd, will you listen? I before we leave, I got to tell you, I really appreciate you finally cutting your hair. It was about time. You needed it. You look a lot better. Next, we're gonna worry about the hair.
You look a lot better. You know, like healthy.
Yeah, like healthy. That's true.
My daughter said, "Don't be sad, Dad. When your mohawk grows back, you won't be so ugly anymore."
Oh man! Jeez.
Burn.
Wow.
Yeah. So like, you guys might like it. You guys might like it, but she doesn't want to look at me.
Oh man. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
It's tough looking at you with or without hair, but I like this one better. So.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, listen, Todd. Next week, I want
You're so easy on the eyes, Greg. I'm glad it's coming from you.
Todd, next week I want an update on Kukui Project and Mohawk Thunder, please. On the program too, we'll be welcoming back James Silvani, who'll be talking about the last 2 episodes of course, Mandalorian. We'll be talking about episode 7, and of course the finale of next week of episode. So we will talk about that.
I really want to talk about Mayfield.
Very, very excited for that, and I just don't want to leave James Silvani out in the cold because he said he had something to do tonight. So we'll save it for him because we like James Silvani. So nice to have a a friend in high places. So that's always nice. Higher places for sure. Anyway, for my
Alika's already in a high place.
For my good buddies in NERDWatch Phormat. Of course, Alika, Dr. Freaky Dad Aliki. Of course, Todd Bernardi, and of course,
you can't put doctor in front of my name. I don't even have a PhD. Dr. Joe Biden has a PhD. I don't have one of those.
Most assuredly, always stay nerdy. We'll see you back here again on the NERDWatch. Aloha.